Alright, so we're at the point of torquing down the torque converter. I got this set up to 32 foot-pounds using a 14mm socket. Get in there. Alright, I can feel we're getting there. Alright, 32 foot-pounds. Time to turn the motor over and get the next one. Alright, I think I'm getting there. Alright, 32 foot-pounds, now to rotate it. All right. I think there's one more, and then we'll be able to put on the starter. All right. So I'm going to rotate it. All right, finally getting towards where it's about to click. So, there we have it. And that's all 4 nuts torqued down. Super happy to see how easy this engine turned with the transmission on. Now I can go ahead, torque this down, torque that down, and then start finding the rest of the wire connections and where they belong to. And man, we are looking good. I mean, we're gonna go ahead and clean this up. It's been a while since it's been installed. And the thing about the starter mount, it's the ground. So make sure you end up doing this part, prepping up the starter before just mounting it back on into position. Let me see. Try to do as best as you can, get it as clear as possible. Pretty sure if I had this at work, I might be able to use some cleaner, make it easier. And it's not just going to be doing the starter as well. You want to do where it mounts to on the transmission. Actually, you may not have to. There's a plate there. Alright, I think that should be good. Alright, now we're going to go for it. Get this in here. Be careful. It is pretty heavy and dirty. That's what I want. We'll start off with the bottom one here. Cool. And then we got that one right there. Got it in. And these bolts are going to be torqued to 18 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get these all the way down, and then we'll start recording from there. Alright, we'll start off at the top. All right, 18 foot-pounds. All right, so what I'm attempting to do here is get these bolts and exhaust into position. I'm going to start off by getting this in the thread by hand and then working it in to keep this in position so I can play with as needed. Once you get it in by hand, grab your tool. Be very, very careful. It should go in smooth, no resistance. just a couple of turns. You want to grab your other one. And this is going to be a tough part because I'm going to have to position the exhaust. So let me go ahead and play around with this. All right, so I moved the nuts out of the way over here, and I was able to just slide it enough to get clearance from the hanger here. So now you should be able to get that in by hand. And then we'll go ahead, we'll jump on over to the other side and get that side. I already got the one bolt here. We'll line up the other side. All right, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna torque these to 36 foot-pounds. Good, right there. Perfect. Now I just gotta get the right one and bam, we're there. All right, ran to the store and I got a 10 millimeter with a thread pitch 1.5, and we'll see if this actually works. Oh, too short. Too short. Should have been longer. But nonetheless, I'm told this is what the thread pitch is. It just got to be really, really long. Probably gonna end up returning that then. But we're gonna go ahead, we'll start torquing these down. Bop, bop, bop. All right, so here we go. We're gonna torque these bolts down to 46 foot-pounds. Let's go for it. And right there. Bam. Bam. Right there. And again, you don't have to go across like I did, but it's a good practice. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get this next one. And right there. Good. And then last one. Bam. All right. So once I replace this bolt here, it's going to be 56 foot-pounds, and then we're going to torque these. All right. So I had to loosen this bolt up because I had to get to a bolt up there on the transmission, but figured out where this goes. I'm going to go ahead and install this before, actually probably measure the nut on that, probably a 10. And this guy is going to go down in this direction. Let's see. All right, so that connector only fits one way, and if you pay attention, you're going to see the square pieces in a lateral position, and you will hear that sucker click in. So right now there's a 10 in the center, and you gotta try to get that sucker. But not enough space. Thank you, engineering. Oop. But do your best to get that spot and just tighten it. All right, cool. Now that we got that tightened down, the next connector is going to be right here. Actually, before I do that connector, I want to get this on because it's going to get pretty tough. And if you see that connector, that this right here is a neutral. It's got to be this side. Just want to press that in. Bam, just like that. Cool. And then from here, we're going to connect this. Good. All right, so I'm going ahead. I'm tying the main engine ground down to this location here. Let's see if I can get underneath and get a better view. Definitely can. I'm gonna put this sucker right here. And this is supposed to be the starter ground. So you just get it to the block to chassis. Bop, bop. Cool. I'm going to tighten that down. All right, we got a 13 millimeter socket. Just going to get that sucker on there nice and tight. And then I ended up running to the store and I ended up getting this small bolt and washer, which is a M6. I lost the original bolt for the ground. Foolish for me not to put it back. But nonetheless, as you can see, we are attaching you right here. Chassis ground. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to tighten that down, but that is going to act like these grounds here. So we should have no problem now. I got to get me another one, probably when I go back, so I could end up tying this ground to the block. And then from here on out, now I'm going to, because I got the intake manifold, take it to the dealership, get the new used part washed. It doesn't have any silver stuff, but I could tell they pulled it out from the junkyard. I could have just gone to the junkyard and saved me 150 bucks, but lesson learned. Nonetheless, next step is going to be here. Now that we covered the electrical components, hopefully you guys are watching these videos and learning a lot as I am. First time building this, and I feel positive. All right, so the one I got is a 10 millimeter. We're going to go ahead and bottom this out. There we go. Good. Bam, that is not going anywhere. Good. I am so happy about that.